All right, here we go. Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope everybody out there is having a great start to your week and having a phenomenal Tuesday. We have an absolutely loaded show on tap for you all today, and I want to begin with an update on Deebo Samuel. Adam Schefter saying moments ago that according to the Niners and Kyle Shanahan, Deebo Samuel expected to come back off that knee and ankle injury in about 3 weeks with 4 games left. It looks as though San Francisco dodged a huge bullet here, and hopefully they're going to get back the 2021 All-Pro, a guy who is one of one, an elite and special playmaker on this roster just in time for a playoff run. More roster news for the Niners. This coming down this afternoon as well. The 49ers adding some defensive line depth by signing defensive tackle Mike Dwumfour to the practice squad. The corresponding roster move, they put Dante Johnson on IR with that torn ACL. Dwumfour, 24 years old, played his college football at Michigan, has some decent size to him, was an undrafted free agent. He was waived by the Texans last week. So this is really a move for the Niners to potentially activate him to the active roster just because of all of the injuries that have taken place on the interior of that defensive line for the Niners with guys going down left and right. Hassan Ridgeway 2 weeks ago with the pec injury. You had Kevin Givens going down as well. Eric Armstead has been banged up. Javon Kinlaw expected to come back to practice here in just a little while. Kerry Hyder Jr., the list goes on and on and on. There have been so many injuries for this team along the defensive line on the interior there. So if another injury happens, maybe Dwumfour does get activated. To the big talking point of today's show, and I'm really excited to really discuss this with an open mind here. We're going to look ahead like all good businesses do because right now there's a quarterback competition. There's a lot of quarterback buzz, quarterback drama, and quarterback rumors surrounding this organization right now. And the big question we want to tackle, what will the Niners do at quarterback in 2023? We're going to bring you the latest here on Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and of course Tom Brady. But first, I do want to send a big thank you to our guy Matt Smith, who was our Bucs Watch Party MVP, tuned in all the way from Utah. He sent in the biggest super chat, and everybody throughout the course of the day who sent in a super chat, $10 or more, we put your name here on the back. I signed it here on the top. We're going to send this out to Matt on Wednesday. He was our Watch Party MVP against the Bucs. And for Thursday Night Football, I'm going to be signing this, sending it away to the biggest super chatter, and hopefully I'm able to write F the Seahawks, NFC West champions. Thanks for supporting the show and my name on that bad boy. Subscribe and join us for our Thursday Night Football watch party. Going back to this quarterback conversation, a look ahead here. Jimmy Garoppolo set to be a free agent, so his future is uncertain with this organization. Tom Brady also going to be a free agent as he enters his age 46 season. Trey Lance is under contract through 2024. Next year at $3.7 million. The following year, $5.3 on that rookie contract. And Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, he's on his rookie deal through 2025. So in one instance, San Francisco does have quarterback security because at the very least, next year in 2023, you'll have Trey Lance and or Brock Purdy. But the big looming question, are they going to go big swinging for Tom Brady? Could Jimmy Garoppolo come back in the fold? Or is Brock Purdy playing so well right now that he has an opportunity to become the starter for this football team that next year as well will have a roster equipped to win a Super Bowl? Let's first talk here about Jimmy Garoppolo, because with yet another serious injury, it's going to be hard to justify bringing Garoppolo back. He's done so many wonderful things for this organization. 2 NFC Championship games, a Super Bowl appearance. He's been a class act, a leader in the locker room. His play about middle tier in the NFL, to be frank. But I don't think the Niners are going to bring him back because of the injuries. I also think that the price tag will be too high with the quarterbacks they might be in the running for and have on the team, and with other teams vying for the services of Jimmy G. There are many quarterback-needy teams who I think are going to be willing to pay a lot more than what the Niners can stomach to bring back Garoppolo, who, again, has done some great things for this organization since that trade in 2017. I think that if Geno Smith can get $20 to $25 million upcoming in free agency, Jimmy Garoppolo can get that type of average annual value basis as well. And if that's it for Jimmy G, he rounds out his Niners career with a pretty good season here in 2022 as he stepped in for Trey Lance, went 7-3, completed 207 of 308 pass attempts for nearly 2,400 yards and a very good touchdown to interception ratio at 16-4. And it also helps that while he was in the Bay Area, he won more than 70% of his starts. You can rip him for the quarterback talent, but look, what you can't make up, what you can't lie about, the guy just wins a lot of games, and he put the Niners in great positions to do so. Jimmy Garoppolo destinations for next year. Another reason why I think another team will be willing to pay him, there are a lot of teams going into 2023 who could be in the need for a quarterback. There's the Robert Saleh Jets connection. And right now, Mike White is their starter. I think Zach Wilson is a stiff. That roster, as they've proven this year with a really good defense, is ready to win, and Garoppolo is a ready-to-win quarterback. The New York Giants, I don't think they're convinced that Daniel Jones is going to be the guy. Brian Daboll gets the best out of his quarterback, so I think Garoppolo could go there. He could master and lock down that offensive scheme and really flourish. He was coached by Josh McDaniels, Garoppolo was, with the New England Patriots. If the Raiders move off of Derek Carr to save some money, they could be in the market for Garoppolo's services. Washington Commanders, their current starter is Taylor Heineke, but who would you rather have? I'd go with Garoppolo, honestly. Houston Texans have a bunch of questions at that quarterback spot. So too do the New Orleans Saints. If they run it back with Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston, they are just fools. Carolina Panthers do not have a quarterback as of now, but maybe they're going to draft one in the 2023 NFL Draft. Seattle, if Geno Smith is a little bit too expensive, both sides want to get a deal done. We'll see what happens there. You never know what's going inside the ayahuasca mind of Aaron Rodgers. He could decide to retire, and if that's the case, the Packers are positioned to win now, and Garoppolo could go there, and he is a scheme fit alongside Matt LaFleur. And then, of course, the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is throwing a lot of balls along the line of scrimmage. Part of that is because the play caller in Matt Patricia, who I can't believe is the Patriots offensive coordinator, doesn't allow Jones to throw the ball downfield. But is that because they lack trust in Mac Jones? There's the Jimmy G Patriots, Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick connection, 10 destinations there that Garoppolo could go to and make a lot more money than what the Niners could offer. As I mentioned off the top of the show, the 49ers Report today is sponsored by Fetch, and stay tuned. We're going to talk about Brock Purdy and Tom Brady around the corner. You can scan receipts, get points back for those receipts, and turn those points into gift cards if you head to chatsports.com/fetch. This is an app that I think is just fantastic, and it's free and easy to use. It lets you earn rewards on literally anything that you buy. You scan any physical receipt like we're showing you here, or e-receipt, and you will earn points for your purchases, and the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it, so we're showing you how simple it is. You open up the Fetch app, you press that orange button, the confetti starts to pop once you scan that photo and take a picture of it. You can also click the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping by syncing your email account. Just think about how many items you're buying online. You could be getting rewards back, and if you send in a super chat and link it to your email, you get points back for the super chat donations that you send us. So get rewarded for all of your shopping by downloading the app today. Fetch is where it's at. We'll put that link in the comment section as well as the description of this video. Appreciate Fetch for making today's show possible. Some more thoughts here on Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, the injuries suck. No, he's not elite, but he's a very good quarterback who's won 70+% of his starts with San Francisco. Other teams see that. They are salivating to make it to the playoffs. A team like the New York Jets and the whole host of other teams that we just broke down, they want a winner. And that's what Jimmy Garoppolo does very well. So let me ask you this question, and I do value your feedback down in the comment section. Would you bring back Jimmy G in 2023? R for resign, B for buy. You're in the shoes of John Lynch. What would you do? Play the role of general manager. As you venture down there, a reminder, this is your go-to spot for daily Niners coverage year-round. Today here on Tuesday, Let's get to 70,000 subscribers. If you're coming across this show for the first time, hit that subscribe button for entertaining, informative analysis on the daily right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. To Trey Lance now. Then we'll talk about Brock Purdy as well as Tom Brady. Could Trey Lance be a trade chip? This is a controversial talking point, but it's one that any quality business out there would forecast forward and start to talk about it and think about the value they could get back for Lance, who has a lot of skills, has a lot of promise and potential, and that's why he was selected out of North Dakota State at number 3 overall. The start to his career, it's been up and down, but two things can be true. It's been choppy. He also has a lot of promise. He's still only 24 years old. He's 6'4", 225 pounds with a really strong arm. You can't deny that, and the film doesn't lie. Could he put some more touch on his throws? No doubt. Can he be a little bit more accurate, which is what Brock Purdy has shown us? Yes, but he's an athletic quarterback, and nowadays that's really valued. He can run an RPO type of offense or play action. He's done both of that with the Niners as well as his time at North Dakota State, and he comes on the cheap. We talked about his contract a little earlier. If he ends up playing good football and you're paying him around $3, $4, $5 million, that's a very affordable price tag out there, and that's desirable for other teams. The 49ers also do lack some draft picks from the Trey Lance trade. They gave up 3 first-round picks as well as the Christian McCaffrey trade, which gutted them of some of their picks in the middle round. So if they trade away Trey Lance, I don't think you're going to get a first because he hasn't proven enough to get a first-round pick back. But could you recoup some of the draft capital you gave up to help absorb the blow of trading for Christian McCaffrey and trading to move up to select Trey Lance? What would you do? Once again, we're going to put you inside the walls of the offices at the SAP Performance Center in Santa Clara at the Niners facility. T for trade, K for keep. Once again, we want to hear from you down below. Treat that comment section like a Sports Talk Radio call-in line. The other question we have to discuss here is Brock Purdy the guy? He has had about the best 7.5 quarters that you could have ever imagined for a guy who was the last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant, was slept on come draft time with every team passing on him multiple times. But this is the NFL. Our defense is going to catch up. They probably will at some point, but so far so good for Brock, and right now he's turning heads. And I think it's really telling what other players have to say about Purdy in this locker room as well as the coaching staff. So you look at what he did against the Bucs. It was even better than what he did against the Miami Dolphins when it was hard to envision him performing even better. 16-21 against the Brady-led Bucs. He completed 76% of his passes, 185 yards, 3 total touchdowns. He threw that ball to Ayuk, in which he recognized the blitz coming, man in his face. Same deal with Christian McCaffrey on both touchdowns. He delivers a throw down the sideline, which Jimmy Garoppolo has struggled to do with accuracy, anticipation, knowing the blitz is coming. Took a hit in his face and still delivered a dime of a touchdown. Then he has surprising mobility as well, as he displayed on that rushing touchdown. And it was hard to say, look, Purdy against the Bucs, he was great, but is he going to repeat what he did against the Dolphins? I continue to say this because let's take you inside the walls of this coaching room right now. You have Brock Purdy. Obviously, you believe in him if he replaces Jimmy G, first extended NFL action, and in a huge game against the Miami Dolphins, who came in wanting to hand the Niners an L because of all the connections and the shit that was talked. You ask him to throw 37 times, and he's able to do that with little problems. Yeah, he threw a pick, but it basically served as a punt. So 7.5 quarters, Brock Purdy's been great. But his biggest test is going to come against the Seattle Seahawks. And what I also like about him is the it factor. The it factor could be there. And I think that's why a lot of people have spoken so highly of Brock Purdy thus far and what he's been able to do in the last 7.5 quarters, because they see how he operates in the locker room. There are these stories about how he stays late at practice. He commands the huddle. And a lot of guys are intimidated by that when you look around that huddle and you say, Trent Williams, future Hall of Famer, All-Pro. George Kittle, All-Pro. Deebo Samuel, All-Pro. Brandon Ayuk, breakout star. Christian McCaffrey, All-Pro. Yet, he's not phased at all by it. Love what we've seen from Brock. And here are my takeaways for him. Why I like what I've seen on tape. He's identified blitzers. He's made checks at the line of scrimmage, coming through with some audibles to put the offense in a position to better be successful. He's thrown those deep balls down the sideline, which Kyle Shanahan didn't really dial up for Jimmy G because Garoppolo likes to live in between the numbers and the hashes. He throws with anticipation, not afraid to get popped and throw the football downfield. Pretty solid mobility in a Tony Romo type of fashion. He can make plays out of structure, and his teammates absolutely love him, as we just talked about. And him having success with all of the playmakers on this team, with his head coach being Kyle Shanahan, it doesn't come as a massive surprise. We'll talk about why he was slept on come draft time, but this is a guy who, at Iowa State at the college level, he went there because he fell in love with the atmosphere in Iowa, but he could have gone to Alabama. Alabama had an offer on the table. Instead, he goes to Iowa State. He finished his career 30-17 under Matt Campbell. A lot of passing attempts, nearly 1,500. He was accurate, completed nearly 68% of his balls, threw for 81 touchdowns, 33 picks, and that experience factor is something that Trey Lance doesn't have, and I think that's why Purdy has been able to pick up this offense pretty quickly and go about it in such a flawless manner. Now, why was he not drafted? If you watch Purdy at Iowa State, good quarterback, a guy who ran the system, sneaky athletic, but he didn't have great arm strength. He's a little bit slight and a little bit small, and we'll see what defenses, what they do to respond to what Purdy's done. But my goodness, Kyle Shanahan, Brian Griese, they deserve a lot of credit for putting Purdy in a position to succeed, and they're maximizing his skill set right now. And in this system, with these players who we just talked about, all the all-pros that he's looking at inside the huddle, can he succeed as a starter in the NFL? To be determined, but his start, it's been a little bit more flashier and a lot more consistent than a guy like Trey Lance, and this is coming from a guy who's a massive believer in number 5. So if you could pick a starter next year between these two youngsters right here, TL for Trey Lance, BP for Brock Purdy, who you going with? I'm looking at our live poll. Which quarterback do you believe in more? 73% Purdy, 27% Lance. Let us know and voice your opinions on this down in the comment section. As for Tom Brady, is he an option? You can't rule this out. You cannot rule out Tom Brady as an option for San Francisco in 2023. There's just way too much buzz, way too much history, and a lot of baggage here that links Brady to the 49ers organization, on top of the fact that he grew up here. Tom Pelissero with the latest on Brady's future. He said this: could he re-sign with the Bucs? He has great affection for that organization, who he won a Super Bowl with. Could he sign elsewhere? There are surely teams regret that not trying to sign Brady 3 years ago. Even at 45, he'd be an upgrade, albeit likely a short-term one. But the 49ers, short-term window right now, trying to win a Super Bowl over plenty of quarterbacks starting right now. Over half the league has quarterback questions entering the season. Shoot, we just showed you 10 Garoppolo destinations, and Pelissero with more. If he feels that his best chance is to win a Super Bowl not in Tampa, it makes sense for him to move on for the right situation. Family considerations, surely will play into any decision, as they did in 2020 with his children currently living on the East Coast. But his parents were at Levi's Stadium. They still live in NorCal. And why Brady to the Niners makes sense on top of all of this most recent buzz. He grew up in San Mateo, was a huge Niner and Joe Montana fan. He was at Candlestick for the catch when the 49ers took down the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, irrelevant for the last quarter century plus. The 49ers can put him in a position to succeed with this great supporting cast, and the defense next year will still be elite. And I don't think that Tom Brady sucks. Did he look good against the Niners? No. But how many quarterbacks have looked good against San Francisco this year? Patrick Mahomes and, oddly enough, Marcus Mariota when the Niners were very injured. So I don't think Brady sucks. This Niners defense has made a lot of quarterbacks look bad. I just think the Buccaneers are a bad football team with their roster, with their coaching staff, and I think that in turn has made Brady look worse than he actually is. Our final question for our show today. And I want you to embrace debate here. Pick a 2023 quarterback, 10 for Jimmy G, 13 for Brock Purdy, 5 for Lance, 12 for Brady. Subscribe to the channel, and as always, we appreciate all of your support.